Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a brand new video. This one is focused on Mr. Sinister in Incursions. Now if you came to the live stream last Friday, you'll know we took in Mr. Sinister, myself and Dan took Mr. Sinister in with different synergy pairings. But as well, the main thing to point out was that we needed an awakened version. I only got the awakened version on the day of actually shooting it, and I'd not played about this champion in 3 years. But the main thing to get him awakened is to utilize that signature ability of persistent charge based usage, because in Incursions you go from fight to fight. Who figure? Go figure even. Wrong choice of words there, but you know, you get it. The fact is, each time Mr. Sinister defeats an opponent, he extracts the genetic code, and obviously they're specific to different types of classing, as you can see there. Most of the time for me, I seem to be going up against mutants, which is handy for special attack damage, obviously increasing the amount that it is. And there can be some real fun interactive ramp ups, which I need to work out more. I need to kind of like work this champion a little bit more. I've not really trained with this champion since I got the CCP 4-star version back 3 years ago. So yeah, that's a long ass time ago. But I'm finding more interest with the champion, especially when it comes to like going from fight to fight, and as well as some of the utilization mechanics, and also just like practicing a little bit more, you know, doing certain things like remembering to go into a parry and obviously holding down or charging the heavy attack in order to well, do better. And the same thing can be with like how to then go into a special attack in order to kind of maximize, because as you can see here, charging the heavy attack for an additional 1 second grants a cruelty buff, increasing critical damage rating by 130.85, obviously depending on rarity. So obviously that's what we'd be looking to do, is try and ramp up that critical damage and then go into a special 2 or special 1, depending on what you want to do with that. And that's something that I needed to learn along the line. I didn't really always get that right, and I think again it's down to like just experimentation and training with the champion to get the best out of it. Okay, so now let's talk about hacks and why they were so good. Now here we go. First and foremost, heavy enhancement. If you are looking to utilize the heavy attack method with this champion of charging heavy attacks, obviously you'll be throwing in the end. The fact is you can use heavy enhancement. Also look to attack surge debuff. So obviously by throwing debuffs on the enemy, which you're doing, if it's not through concussion, it's through degeneration, can be handy with attack surge debuff. Phoenix synergy is obviously giving you a buff, not to mention the fact the heavy attack does allow you to gain a buff as well. So you're getting like 2 buffs through buff cornucopia. So having the Phoenix synergy and also through the medium of charging the heavy attack will obviously give you that precision buff pop up. Attack enhancement special, obviously you're going to throw specials regardless, and as well if you're using to maximize your special attack damage via the signature ability, which as we've seen, hit down a mutant, you then gain a boost to your special attack. So that again is a very good thing to pair up with. Martial Artist for debuff and as well like a buff generation, handy for degeneration. Concussion less so much, but obviously it's degeneration a lot more. Attribute boost, critical damage, obviously it does exactly what it says in the tin in building that. Perpetual offense, very good again in enhancing offensive based abilities. Attack surge, unique buff. And that's obviously you get from, if we're building the buffs through the means of the Phoenix synergy, and as well we've got buff cornucopia, and as well we've got that heavy kind of hold that you're then building and getting that extra, for all the unique buffs, you're then boosting your attack. And not to mention the fact that if you look to have a prowess boost, building the special attack damage, obviously based the signature ability with attack enhancement special with obviously prowess, is going to mean for some tasty amounts of damage in any case. So yeah, like there's a lot on offer for this champion that is going to make it incredibly powerful incursions. But without further ado, let's look at some of the highlights. He's come in from outside. He's been outside for a good chunk of today.
Has he been a good boy?
He's a little bit cold, apparently. Well, I don't know. Yeah, no, he hasn't been. I remember it. Em's not working from home today, but her work was on the floor. So he climbed inside some poly wallets and shat on all over her work.
So a couple things about Mr. Sinister. Mr. Sinister has this ramp up where he gains different abilities when he's duped based on the champion class that he KOs. So we're going to be playing with that a little bit. If he takes down a mutant, that increases prowess, skill, precision, science, regen rate, mystic, combat power rate, and cosmic fury rate. So no bonus for the techs. And using the Bloodlines synergy with Phoenix, special attacks have plus 20% crit rating and gain True Strike, which is nice because True Strike is a buff and triggers buff cornucopia.
Yeah.
And then I have Masterminds with Mcoc. Each time the opponent uses a special attack, they are power locked for 6 seconds. So that prevents the opponent from gaining power and gives Mr. Sinister more time to do his evil deeds.
Poopies, la 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 la.
Rebooted phone and stream
And
running
who are
better
you
now.
going with, Rich?
May have been an issue my side.
I just, as you were talking, like you were talking this, doing all this serious stuff, then it's like it pops up, uh-oh, stinky poo, for my Twitch notification. So Dan's obviously trying to explain what we're kind of like, we're doing in
the whole setup, the whole premise.
Yeah.
It's all right. We only planned for like a week. It's all good, Rich. It's just crazy how much health I got back in that fight, despite just playing terribly. He has some good recovery, but that's that's the fun part about this is just seeing what's going to happen.
Oh.
What's going on over there, Rich?
Oh, that was tasty. Oh,
tasty. So, Rich, I was talking to my wife last night, and she was saying that the best thing about the past decade has been the memes. And my response was, if the best thing about the past decade was the memes, it was a horrible decade. Your stance on memes, were they the best part of the last decade? And are memes actually good?
Stinky.
See, the funny thing, you said, as soon as you say that, I've now got like an stinky pop notification.
Poopies, la 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 la.
Thank you very much to Siren MCOC, who hits up for 3 months in a row. It's a perfect time for the stinky. Yeah, I mean, I love that meme. That I think I do like a lot of memes, but yeah,
you do love the memes.
I think as soon as we hit 2020, memes just sort of like, literally, they just die. They're just like the memes aren't as good anymore.
We got post meme.
Yeah.
We're doing the Canadian and just kind of arena and stuff. I haven't really been too focused on that. So over in my chat, Tyler, when did I start playing MCOC? I started in February of 2015. So my account is just over or closing in on 5.5 years. I think closing in on 5.5 years of playing MCOC. And hey, Drew, how are we doing, man?
Poopies, buddy, poopies, la 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 la.
Choo choo.
Thank you, John. Not just.
There's a lot going on. You got hype trains.
Yeah.
You're taking notes.
Yeah, that's true. Oh my god, I can't even read. Perpetual offense. Launching a special attack is 100% chance to grant an indefinite prowess buff. I think I'm gonna nab that. I kind of went massacred, and I thought, oh no, I should just grabbed what I wanted to do with that. But it's okay. It's fine. It's gonna be okay. I say it's gonna be okay. That's that regeneration back in play as well.
Trying to think who else. Probably Blade and Gladiator Hulk have probably been my two go-tos. Who are our favorite champs, Rich? Say my favorite champs right now. Sunspot is probably the most fun to play. I really like Mephisto. Really like Sentinel and Killmonger. Those Those are up there with me.
I should use Mr. Sinister, but maybe next time, because I want to go for a heal now. So I want to really preserve that, getting him right back up to health, because I've just been a little bit silly with him.
Look at you, you're not worried about those evades.
No. Just balls to the wall, really.
That's the RichTheMan lifestyle right there.
Brawler and right up the back waller. Okay, what we got? Crumbling armor, close encounters. All right, okay. Don't do bleeds. Man.
no bleeds.
Man, choosing that node in the past that gave off bleeds was just such an absolute. Ah, my light's just gone off. That's bad timing for that to go off. Hit up the block. Should have done that. Boop. Either way, Mr. Sinister was a fantastic champion. I kind of feel like I'd love to rank 5 this champion and as well put a fair few much more signatures on it, like up to about 100, just to utilize and get more potency from the percentages. Because theoretically, if you're going from fight to fight and building this up, it kind of works in a kind of not Beardo sense of the word, but obviously where Beardo has different champions on his team, it means he's as powerful as the people on his team. Like, you know, if you've got a tech on, you're able to do petrify, etc, etc. The same principle here is with the percentages, in that if you go from fight to fight, getting persistent charges, you're ramping up, you're taking it off, and obviously reaping a lot more damage, which is mainly like better in incursions for this champion, because instead of you doing like, I don't know, 5 fights or 10 fights, you are now doing like exponentially more. You could be, if you have this at 565 and taking it in incursions, doing up to potentially, if you're doing really, really well, you know, 20 plus fights, maybe even more than that, a lot more than that. If you're doing each boss each time, you could be doing up to 30 fights, depending obviously based on the amount of rooms that you go on. But that's the thing, how many fights will be applicable to how much more you're able to get out of this champion. But I really recommend Mr. Sinister, no, I said Mr. Fantastic, Mr. Sinister for any incursion runs. And obviously look out for Friday when we're going to test out another champion and another set of synergies in Incursions Fridays with Rich and Dan. And yes, that's been a video. Go and check out some other content on screen at the moment. And I'll see you this Friday for another Incursions run.